Stacey with the national anthem as the officials and these fans get ready for Game 4 of the Patrick Division semifinal series. Rangers and Penguins meeting as you look at Tom Barrasso for the first time in the Stanley Cup playoffs. Barrasso certainly a big factor, Dave, in the late season resurgence and recovery of the Pittsburgh Penguins. We talked about them really being on the ropes for a couple of weeks and getting things turned around just in time.
Well, he came up big last night, Game 3. We take a look at Mike Richter. Barrasso kept his club in the hockey game early and took the fans. He and Mario took the fans and the crowd right out of the game at the first 10 minutes. Mike Richter is a guy who's got an awful lot of, I don't know if he's safe pressure. He hasn't been around long enough to know what type of situation he's got himself involved in. But what he's going to do, he's going to move real well in the goal. Phil Esposito's hoping that perhaps he'll be that missing link to get his club in the right direction.
There are surely easier ways to break into the National Hockey League than he has had thrust upon him tonight. There's Rob Schick, the referee, Wayne Bonney, and Ryan Bozak, the two linesmen working Game 4.
Phil Esposito whispering his last piece of motivation to his club. The Rangers got to try and play with a lead. They have not had the lead yet in this series.
John Cullen against Darren Turcotte on the draw. The veteran Guy Lafleur golfs it down behind the net. Barrasso stopping it there for the Penguins. They organize the play and simply instead dump it down the ice. Richter touches the puck to try to settle the nerves a little bit. For the Rangers, John Ogrodnik, Turcotte, and this man Lafleur. His rink-wide pass is intercepted. On defense for Pittsburgh is Jim Johnson working it ahead. Roy Loney playing behind the Ranger goal. Leach clearing it across the ice quickly to Turcotte. Turcotte on the line, dropping it for Lafleur just offside on the left side. Was Ogrodnik, and they'll have a face-off outside the Pittsburgh blue line.
Gene Ubriaco's got his club up 3-0 here. Darren Turcotte in the lineup tonight for the New York Rangers in place of Jason Lafreniere. And what Turcotte does, he shoots the puck very well. He had a wonderful training camp for the Rangers. They sent him down to learn a little bit how to play in the pro. The scratches tonight, out of the lineup for Pittsburgh, Dave McElwain, Steve Dykstra has not seen action. Frank Peter Angelo also, and Chris Dahlquist, who played in Game 2, is not seeing action here in Game 4.
Lucien Deblois on the draw against Mario Lemieux, the Penguin star. This is golfed in by Patrick around the near boards. Very unsettled play. Nothing in the way of a prolonged offensive attack by either team in the early seconds as they feel their way into game number 4. Just past the 1-minute mark. Rob Brown now makes the pass to the blue line. Airy trying to feed Lemieux in front. Good stick check there by the Rangers number 2. And Brian Leach clears the zone. Here is Lemieux shadowing and checking Nyland. Nyland going down to the blue line break. Here they come. 2 on. Oh, Lemieux, and they went too far. Sweeps around the net. Couldn't poke it home. But a glorious scoring chance there denied as the Penguins sailed in too far. This is Mellon getting turned around. He gets dumped. Fans looking for a penalty. They'll get one now as Rob Schick, the referee, has his arm in the air. And the Penguins get the first penalty of this hockey game. Ranger power play about to go into effect. We'll be back.
If a dream is worth saving, it's worth Kodacolor Gold Film.
Phil Esposito looking on anxiously with his first good scoring chance on this penalty.
Chris Nyland gets a little guilty overhandling the puck. That puck's got to be dumped. You got 2 of the wrong guys if you're a Ranger supporter coming down on the ice. Richter holds his own. Mario just runs out of room. Rangers do a good job of coming back, but Chris Nyland's got to get that puck in. We're going to see the penalty here. Randy Hillier's going to pull down Brian Mullen. Going to add a little bit more pizzazz to make it look legitimate. The Rangers going to get a chance to get that lead early here in the power play.
And their power play is on the ice. Penguins having trouble in clearing the zone. Dahlin is out there. Sandstrom. Kerry Wilson. Wilson parked in front of the net as they can't get the puck to him. Penguins retreat to their defensive shell, their box. Try to contain them from there. Patrick to Dahlen down the near boards. Puts it in front. Sandstrom blasted one wide. Picked up and golfed out of the zone.
Well, you get the puck to the right guy. Thomas Sandstrom's got to be the guy taking the shot. He or Wilson. Have the shooter shooting the puck in good position.
Barrasso to the line, kept in by Leach for Sandstrom now over on the far boards. Shovels it down beside the net. Dahlen got turned around in there. Recovering is Gord Deneen as the Penguins kill off the penalty, bringing it back out of the zone down to the Ranger corner. This is Brian Leach. Working it ahead to Kerry Wilson. Dropping it there carelessly. Pops over the line. Here's Lemieux on Leach. Lemieux getting set. Forced off by Leach. Richter out to meet him. Finally makes the save, and Leach now comes away for the Rangers with Sandstrom one-on-one. With Leach inside the line, he gets turned around as the Penguins recover, but good scoring chances end-to-end here. A little over 30 seconds to go in Hillier's penalty for the Penguins. Barrasso couldn't contain it. On the point. Rangers keeping the pressure on. Lafleur circling, and the shot from Petit handled by Barrasso with still 22 seconds to go in the penalty.
Well, Mario Lemieux has had a couple of opportunities here, and Mike Richter has forced the issue. When we talk about his quick feet, he's kicked it. We're going to see him here. Lemieux's going to come in shorthanded and give Brian Leach the old howdy-doody just inside the blue line. You know, his reputation is so great. But watch him now. Again, this is the same play. It'll be interesting to see the next time Lemieux comes down. That's twice that Richter's trying to force the issue and made Lemieux go wide. We'll have to look the next time whether Mario's went. For sure, he's gone to school. Whether he can capitalize the next time or not remains to be seen, and I would guess there will be a next time.
Yeah, I'm sure there will. Richter may not be so fortunate, though he did play it well, as you suggested. He came out and cut the angle down and forced the prolific scorer to think twice about it. Zalewski now golfing it the length of the ice as the Penguins appear to be successful in their bid to kill off the first Ranger power play. Just 10 seconds left in it now. Fed to the center ice area, bouncing puck there. Kept in, Hardy. Across the ice it comes. Rangers look a little bit disorganized now as they swirl in there with Lafleur retreating back to the point. Trying to dig it out behind the net. Kept in there, knocked back in by Troy Looney. Left in there, shot from the angle, did not get through a maze of players. Penalty is expired now. The Penguins back at full strength. But still having trouble clearing the zone. Finally do. They get it ahead there to Randy Hillier, who's back for the 2-minute set. Left of the blue line. Left wing pass. Rangers bring it back in. Obradnik now. Shot from the angle. Stopped by Barrasso. Penguins sweeping down. Stevens getting it across to Quinn. His shot blasted wide. Cunnyworth trailing in the corner. Fails to keep it in. Rangers clear it back to center ice. They played about 4.5 minutes here in the first period, scoreless. The Rangers have never had the lead in this series. Missed a chance on the power play to do just that a moment ago. Erickson shoots it down in front of the net. No harm done there. Stevens pouncing on it. He's having trouble. Gets turned around. Lost possession down the boards in the battle with Hardy, and they'll tie it up. Try to hold it. Finally dug free. Rangers have it. Cross to Leach. Leach shooting. Barrasso rebound. Good reaction. Hangs on this time.
They mentioned early in the series, but particularly so in Game 2, Tommy Barrasso on top of the puck here tonight.
We'll be right back.
From Monday to Friday, I'm behind a desk. Come Saturday, that's a different story.
If a trip to the mountains sounds good to you, forget about calling a travel agent, because we've got your ticket right here. The 4x4 of the year. America's #1 selling compact 4x4. Toyota.
Puts working all weekend in perspective.
Toyota!
I love it.
Face off in the Pittsburgh zone for the New York Rangers, who trailed the series 3-0. Kerry Wilson, number 17, on the draw. Cullen for the Penguins wins it, shoots it back to center ice. Shaw back there with Leach on defense for the Rangers. This is Dahlen now working it inside. dull and closing in, couldn't get the shot away at the last moment. Both teams looking for the fast break here. Penguins have had it a couple of times, giving young Richter in his NHL debut fits to the other end, but so far no harm done there. Callender now feeding it right in front. Backhand shot by Cullen. The kid makes himself a pretty good save. Cullen again now circling right in front. Stick handling at will in there. Shaw comes in, takes him down in the corner. Penguins still trying to pass it in front. There'll be a penalty call there. All this happened right in front of Rod Schick, who was the third man at the party.
This Penguin line of John Cullen, Jock Colliner, and Phil Bourque, very, very effective last night. Taking the body, doing the things to make the ice a little bit bigger for the more skilled players. Early in this shift, we're going to see the tag end of this play here that's going to result as Cullen comes out. I think that puck went off the post. Mike Richter missed the puck. He got a little help from his post. Play will continue, and David Shaw, I believe, is going to get a hooking penalty here.
Yeah, he gets the 2 minutes. It's Wilson who gets the 2-minute hooking penalty at 5:37, and indeed a young goalie for Phil Esposito deserves an extra hand and got it in that post, as you said. Here's the penalty now as Wilson just turns him inside out in behind the net.
I thought that was the call, but that looks, I guess it is the call. Wilson finally got it.
I thought it was the two standing right in front of Schick that got tangled up, too.
But anyway, Penguins on the power play here. Penguins 5 for 20 in the first 3 games of this series on the power play.
And bear in mind that the Rangers have never had the lead in this series, and now Pittsburgh threatens to keep that consistent as they sweep down to the New York blue line. Zalapsky, the defenseman, takes to the corner, plays to the far side. Here's Paul Coffey winding for the shot, deflected off target. Brown to Lemieux. Mario back to Coffey. Zalapsky on the other point. Doesn't get it as Coffey mishandled the puck, and the Rangers get a break, and they bring it out. This is Deblois out there to kill the New York penalty. Granato now skates to the bench as Esposito changes on the go. Coffey steps inside the line, lets the shot rip wide left side. It's a shooting gallery in there now on young Richter in goal for New York. Quinn tried to center it, gets a second chance with it. Works it up the near boards. Back to Coffey. Zalapsky, Coffey, setting. Will feed Quinn instead. He'll let it go. Brown had it hit him, couldn't get the shot away. And it's clear for the Rangers back to the Pittsburgh blue line. Carelessly, the Penguins give it up and lose valuable time. They get it right back, though. Lemieux, Brown, Lemieux, and he's shot wide. So Richter, indeed, a cat with 9 lives here in the early going. Long left wing pass, back come the Rangers. Mark Hardy, the defenseman, sharp angle, hard shot, contained by Barrasso. 24 seconds left in the Ranger penalty to Wilson. One more chance for the Penguins to bring it up the ice, and they do. Coffey feeding on the left side, try to hit the slot. Missed Lemieux, back to Coffey. Now he plays it in front. The backhand shot, they score. Pittsburgh takes the lead, again as they have throughout this series, as the power play was just too much for Richter to contain.
Randy Cunningworth's going to make a great backhand pass here, seeing Lemieux off to the right of Mike Richter, as Mario gets a big goal for the Pittsburgh Penguins. Paul Coffey throws it across to Stevens. Now the puck's going to come down to the left of Richter. And watch the backhand pass Cunningworth makes. That's a skill. He learns how to play offensively by playing with a guy like Mario Lemieux. It's like Gretzky does to the people he plays with. When you watch so many skilled players play, or a skilled player play that many times, you become more offensively inclined. A great play by Randy Cunningworth.
Lemieux from Cunningworth and Coffey. 7:27 gives the Penguins their 1-0 lead. Brian Leach now for the Rangers to Dahlen. He directs at the length of the ice into the corner of the Pittsburgh zone as New York tries to put some pressure on, down by a goal. Callender missed his man. Bourque collects it now, has Cullen with him as they sweep across the blue line. Here is Cullen trying to work it in front, stops beside the goal, makes his pass, they score. It's 2-0, popped in by Bourque just like that.
Well, Phil Bourque, the shift before when this line was out, Phil Bourque hit Brian Leach 2 or 3 times. The thing with Brian Leach is he has mentioned that it's not like the regular season. He seems to be getting hit more often. What you're going to see is Bourque is going to be all over Leach in front of the net, and he's simply going to bang it in. Brian Leach just gets out-muscled, Shaw, the play is, there's really no harm done here, but Brian Leach just does not get his man in front of the net. You can.
He didn't tie him up the way he might have, that's for sure.
This play right here, no harm done if everybody picks up their men. Now Bork is on his forehand. Leach is late. That play, I think, was developed in Leach's mind from 2 shifts before. Bork hit him 2 or 3 times.
And the Penguins moved 1 step closer to ending the series in 4 straight with a 2-0 lead. Back they come again to the center ice zone. Lafleur trying to contain his man, Airy, by forcing him against the boards. Sliding in behind. Bork from Cullen and Callender at 7:53. Just 26 seconds after the first goal by Lemieux. Now at the other end, Barrasso has to cover up with Lafleur circling.
Well, Guy Lafleur comes down the right side. He beat Barrasso in game 2 from just about the same spot. And if any place, Barrasso has showed to be a little bit vulnerable high to the glove side. And watch, he fights this puck a little bit again. And I think his right hand is hurt. Notice that in game 1. But in the meantime, Lafleur got all kinds of experience, that's for sure. The Hall of Famer fires one at Barrasso. But again, the Pittsburgh Penguins have seen, they've gotten every big goal. You know, they got that first goal in the power play. They kill the penalty, turn around on the power. Now, whether they get another power play goal is incidental. They've established a lead on the power play.
That is significant. 2-0, they do lead and control this hockey game right now. Though the Rangers trying to pin it inside the line, fail to do so. Nyland flipping it back in the neutral zone. And now Gulf, the Pittsburgh corner. Barrasso directing traffic in there as Zalapsky goes in to try to recover it. In there working against Deblois. Held in by the Rangers. Mullen, Deblois circling, can't make the play. Mullen works it for Nyland behind the net. Zalapsky tying him up in there. Penguins do clear. Long right wing pass for Caulfield, seeing his first ice time. Slow roller to Richter's doorstep. Approaching the halfway mark in the opening period. It is 2-0 for the Penguins. They have denied the Ranger power play while scoring on their own. Now for New York. Mark Hardy brings it in, lets the shot go, blasted wide. Kept in, right point, slap shot by Shaw is off target too. The Rangers shooting gallery missing left and right. There'll be a penalty right there beside Barrasso. Nyland and Hillier getting hooked up on there. Let's pause for a regional break now. You're watching the Stanley Cup playoffs on Sports Channel.
All-Star Chevrolet is holding a Your Choice sale, where with just $500 down cash or trade, an 89 S10 pickup is just $59.99. An 89 Cavalier is just $61.99. An 89 Corsa is just $80.99. All-Star Chevrolet, where we beat buying service and credit union prices. Fact is, if you can find it cheaper, buy it. All-Star Chevrolet. Tell them Brooks sent you.
Well, these penalties being sorted out here. Looks like Barrasso is going to figure in the penalty scenario. Here is Shaw's shot.
David Shaw firing one wide after Hardy had fired one wide, and we see the penalty being called here on Hillier and Chris Nyland.
Well, it looks to be against Barrasso. Gino Briaco, original Penguin back when the expansion team came to Pittsburgh in the late 60s, looks on now. And Barrasso shoveling the Ranger player out from his crease area gets the 2-minute penalty, which is being served by Brown. Looks like certainly Nyland and Hillier might be eligible for penalties of their own, but none was forthcoming. Rangers down 2-0. Just over 10 minutes to play in the opening period at Madison Square Garden. A very quiet Garden thanks to the early Pittsburgh lead, which has been their trademark throughout this series. Johnson for the Penguins having difficulty. Works the center ice area with Stevens. Shaw getting it across to Brian Leach. Snatched the right wing pass off, hops over the stick and into the crowd. Stoppage of play ensues.
Tony Granato spark plug that the Rangers need. Played well enough last night. They put him in the middle of the ice to get him a little more room to work and get some production out of the center ice area. Again, he has trouble coming back night to night when they're back-to-back because of his physical size.
Now, Nyland, as we noted earlier, is in the penalty box, the offsetting penalty. Barrasso did get the other one served by Brown. Cross-checking was Nyland's call. Barrasso for interference. So the teams, as you see, are at full strength, and they whistle that one down on the offside as they cross the Pittsburgh blue line. Mario Lemieux, a point short of a 200-point season.
We certainly have mentioned him, and although offensively he doesn't seem to be the presence yet, his presence has been felt.
Now, those 2 games he sat out late in the season with the full draw, and the difference between the 199 and 200 plus that he most certainly would have picked up. With Canada trailing, the hard shot goes wide of the Ranger net. Canada trying to turn his man around, and behind Lemieux pops it right out in front, but it's recovered by the Rangers' Kerry Wilson. He heads to center ice. With Sandstrom, works it inside the line. Penguins bring it right back out again. Lemieux makes a pass. Airy was tied up. Carries on the near boards. Shoots it down behind the net. Canada's there with Lemieux back to an open point. Nobody minding to score. Shot into the Ranger bench, and play is whistled down there. 9:10 to go in the period. Let's pause for a regional break now. You're watching the Stanley Cup playoffs on Sports Channel.
Hi, I'm Ray Gabler, a kitchen and bath designer. I've been with Sears for over 19 years. Sears can professionally design and remodel your kitchen from floor to ceiling. We offer a complete line of remodeling products, from custom cabinets, floor covering, ceramic tile, lights, and any plumbing and electrical work needed to get that job done. We've been in business for over 100 years and offer satisfaction guaranteed, as well as a financing plan for almost any situation. Contact your nearest Sears professional designer.
Darren Turcotte with Guy Lafleur and John Ogrodnik, the attacking unit for the New York Rangers. Now the Cullen line with Canada and Bourque on the ice for the Pittsburgh Penguins. Loney now replacing Bourque out there as they bring it in front again. Richter, one save, couldn't handle the rebound. 3-0 Penguins.
This is almost shades of game 2 as far as the Rangers are concerned. The last 2 goals, too many people standing around in the defensive part of the ice. You let a guy stand there without paying the price. We're going to see Phil Bourque just set up. Simply, the puck's just going to come in front from this line that we mentioned. Bourque, Cullen, and Loney, they're just beating the Rangers off the puck. Physically just doing the things that it takes to get it done. Nobody picking people up in front. That's it. 4 Rangers around the puck. The puck ends up in the Ranger goal.
Far too many loose pucks left in front of that Ranger goal, and they have paid for it. 3 against them so far, and you saw Phil Esposito rubbing his chin a moment ago, and he's got to be having second thoughts about starting Richter. Too much pressure, I think, in this situation for a man making his NHL debut, and they're down by 3. 8.5 minutes to go in the first period. Bourque, Loney, and Cullen the assists. 11:03, the time of that third Pittsburgh goal. Rangers with a shot by Leach through a maze of players, and somehow Barrasso picked that one out of the air.
Well, the thing, in fairness to Richter, he hasn't gotten a whole lot of support, particularly on the last 2. Could Espo go to Bob Froese? Who knows? Froese was the victim of the same type of play in game 2, but you have to wonder, as you say, Don, maybe a veteran goaltender comes up with one of the big saves there, and you have to wonder if it continues on, what it does to the confidence of a young Mike Richter further along in his career.
I don't think it's fair to him at all. I mean, if he were to get hot and excel, it would be a great moment for him, but it's not the ideal way to start a career. Bourque from Cullen and Loney, the third goal, as we told you. Bourque with goals 2 and 3. Lemieux got the first for Pittsburgh tonight. Rangers now try to apply the pressure. Here is the shot drifted in from Breshner. Blocked easily. Penguins bring it back to the center ice area. Too far for Lemieux as he circles back to his bench. Pittsburgh changing on the go now. The puck in the Ranger zone. Breshner, Rinkwad intercepted out there. Honeyworth with it. Steps across the line. Makes his pass for Stevens. Stevens tries to pop it in front and almost got it through. Now Stevens forechecking as it goes behind him up the near board. On the stick of Ulf Dahlen for the New York Rangers. Nyland works it inside the line, down the corner, and the Pittsburgh Penguins do not clear. Here's the shot that is going wide of the mark from the stick of Petit. Penguins pick it up and they bring it back. Got by Quinn into the Ranger corner as both teams make wholesale changes now. Less than 7:30 to play in the first period. 3-0 for the Penguins. Rangers in desperate trouble at home. Barrasso makes the save, makes the long pass. He'll get the assist of the goal, but it's offside over 2 lines. The pass to Lemieux.
And too bad we couldn't see Tommy Barrasso give it a little shrug. He wanted that assist. He saw Lemieux. Again, after game 1, the Rangers were concerned about Barrasso handling the puck. And we see exactly why in that particular play. He has that ability to move the puck up for a big guy. He sees the people in front of him and has the skills to move it.
Actually, Barrasso had a chance for a goal when the Rangers pulled their goalie late in game 2 and decided not to shoot and make the pass instead.
And credit to him, too. I mean, he realized the game situation, and he took the high percentage play. It ended up being a goal. But you have to wonder, would a young Tommy Barrasso have fired it down the ice? Maybe when he speaks of himself learning, he's learned to play.
Kissio on the draw, but the Rangers can't keep it in. Hops over Petit's stick back to the New York zone. Again, Pittsburgh making frequent line changes here to stay fresh against the sagging New York hockey team. Shot. Aimed for the corner, wound up just inside the blue line, and now back to the New York zone. Here's this tough line for the Penguins. Brown right in front, just rolls it past the corner. Petit for New York being checked by Brown. Works it ahead with a pass now to the center ice area. Kissio. Nyland. Shot. Barrasso saved the rebound. They bang away. Barrasso's there, and the puck stays out. Here we go. Big Nyland now getting into it beside the net.
And Randy Hillier.
Too eager to oblige. This is better than Tyson Bruno already.
This whole fracas starts when Mario Lemieux pushes Chris Nyland from behind. As Nyland goes back to the penalty bench to the cheers of the Garden faithful.
So a little frustration coming out here, obviously, with 6:37 left of the period.
Like a great buy.
Who could ask for anything more?
Lemieux skating over to his coach. Let's watch what happened here. The play around the Pittsburgh net. Nyland was closing in for the shot, and he and Hillier got all tangled up, but away they went.
Watch Lemieux right there. Lemieux hits Nyland. Nyland comes up and backhands Lemieux. Bang, and Hillier turns around and bangs Nyland.
He went down better than Sumbu Kalambe did against Michael Nunn 2 weeks ago.
That's right. That's exactly how it starts. You watch Nyland. He creates the chance. Lemieux's going to give him a push from behind, and then it's going to be whack, whack, and then whack, whack, whack.
So Nyland is going to get a major for elbowing, it sounds like. We'll get this straightened out for you in just a moment. Certainly major in the eyes of Lemieux.
See, the argument I would have on this point is Nyland obviously has to show some discipline, but that hole doesn't start until Lemieux hits him. So Lemieux should get the cross-checking. I think he instigated the whole thing. Now, Nyland certainly has to show some discipline to back off, but in the meantime, Nyland doesn't get the elbowing penalty until Lemieux cross-checks it.
Well, it is Nyland with the 5 minutes for elbowing and 5 minutes for fighting. He gets 2 5-minute penalties. Hillier gets the 2 for instigating at the 5 for fighting, and Lemieux skates away.
Exactly, and that would be my only beef in the whole thing if I'm on the Rangers side of the thing. As
Nyland just trashed the curtain up there above the exit as he went to the Ranger dressing room, a very angry young man.
Well, in fairness, as I mentioned, I don't think he gets the 5-minute for elbowing if Lemieux leaves him alone.
True.
But maybe he shouldn't elbow him.
The first act of the first contact was Lemieux. As we say, he did not get called for it. Perhaps that's the benefit of being the top scorer in the league. Here's Rescher behind the goal now. Rangers dig it in front. intercepted by Bork. He has 2 Pittsburgh goals tonight. He comes away with Cullen to the Ranger line, feeds him there. Breshner turns him around, and the play is whistled down on the offside. We have, in the period, 6:18 remaining, 3-0 Pittsburgh lead.
Phil Bork sporting the fruits of a tough physical series on his right eye, but he's got a couple, and we made, again, this line, Bork, Cullen, played very, very well. Just establishing that good physical quality of hockey that you need in the playoffs.
Yes, that toughness that has come mostly from not this man's team, but the other side, Ubriaco's Penguins. Esposito, as you know, has said he'll be behind the bench next year, and it's all or nothing, it would appear, for his career right now in this season. They still have a good 2 periods plus to play. Looks to be running out on him at this stage. Whistle down and bring it back for a face-off in the Penguin zone.
You just seem to, they're just a deflated hockey club. They're not gaining the neutral zone. Once they get it there, they seem to be putting some effort into it, but they're just not enough oomph, particularly when they hit the offensive blue line.
They've lost every game by at least 2 goals, another by 3, and they trail by a 3-0 here with 6:08 to play in the opening period. Richter, talk about a baptism under fire. He has had that here in the opening period, and this is NHL's debut in goal. Not a night to remember, not the way he had hoped for. Rangers on the faceoff. Wilson wins the draw. They battle in behind the net. Wilson pops it free. Leach tries to come down from the point to help out. And the Penguins recover. And it is flipped back to the neutral zone. Bouncing puck in there. Collector, they come in 2-on-1. Here's the pass. And, hit the goal post. Almost 4-0 right there. Great scoring chance for Bob Airy. He's taken down and is slow to get up. And will skate to the Penguins bench. Play carries right on. Rangers going in. Wilson shot, and Barrasso is down to smother that.
Tommy Barrasso again doing what he's done for the Pittsburgh Penguins. We're going to see the save here. Dave Hannon back in the lineup, nursing a bad shoulder. Didn't play in 3 games as we see the Ranger opportunity on Barrasso. But again, Kerry Wilson does not have a whole lot of room. We're going to see Dave Hannon come down here, make a good, nice play. Airy just advanced the puck, but Hannon's an agitator. He's an instigator, good skater. This is his 2nd time through the Pittsburgh organization as Thomas Sandstrom is calling card to Bob Airy. But in the meantime, Hannon adds him a little more speed through the middle, and that agitating quality that becomes important in a long series.
Dave McIlwain not dressed in favor of Hannon tonight. For Phil Esposito, it's been a very long period already. 5.5 minutes roughly to go in it. His team down by 3. Lemieux on the draw. Comes back to the point. Breshner fakes the shot. Now lets it go, and Barrasso picks that cleanly with a glove hand.
But again, no one going to the net. Breshner pump fakes a couple of times. Freezes everybody up. Hopes that his men get to the net. The Rangers worked on this in practice on Friday. Getting that shot to the net doesn't seem to be working. Perhaps it has something to do with the good play of the Pittsburgh defense.
May just be a factor. Barrasso has had a fine series for the Penguins, no doubt. Never a doubt on the mind of Ubriaco who he would be starting in goal. Now, Guy Lafleur has come across the ice to serve one of the penalties, at least, of the now departed Chris Nyland. It's Kelly Kissio, a New York Ranger captain, settling in for the draw against Lemieux. And they keep it in play. Breshner slap shot, deflection. Barrasso a fine save on a redirected shot at his doorstep.
Well, you can see there that that's a little better chance of putting the puck in the net as Kissio gets himself to the net and directs the puck. But Barrasso, again, in position to make the save, and the butterfly style of that particular play warranted.
Now here's the strange part. It is 3-0 for Pittsburgh, but the Rangers have outshot the Penguins 14-7. Barrasso has been a hot goaltender, as he has been, as we say, throughout the series. Cullen now, getting hooked up there with Kissio, is going to be waved off. And Lemieux will return to take the face-off against Kelly. They chop at it, fed by Lemieux behind his goal for Zarly Zalapski. Good solid defenseman who moves the play out the right side now. Feeding Denis inside the line. It's turned around, taken down by Grester into the boards, and play is whistled down right there with 5 minutes and 9 seconds to go in the period.
Mercury introduces Cougar XR7. Supercharger. Speed-sensitive steering. Anti-lock brakes. All this and the quality of a Mercury.
Like a Mercury.
Don Chevrier with Dave Maloney back with you. A little over 5 minutes to go in the opening period in New York. The last dance for the New York Rangers as they're down 3-0 to the Pittsburgh Penguins, and that's the margin the Penguins lead this series as well. Face-off outside the New York blue line. Each team playing a man short. Rangers Petit circling. Brings it up with Hardy inside the line. Picked out of the air by Johnson as the Penguins come back now with a headman pass to Mario Lemieux as they bring it inside the blue line. He keeps it there, dictates the play at his own pace. Putting on a clinic out there is Lemieux at Hardy's expense. Digs it across to the other point. Finally the shot by Hillier, and that's contained by Mike Richter.
Well, Mario put the string on the puck and thought that he'd play with it for a while. He plays in a different element. But that particular point, the Rangers do a pretty decent job of just peeling off. Let him stick handle up there. The key thing, if Lemieux comes in an offensive rush and makes that curl inside the blue line, it is imperative that your late defenders pick up the late offensive players from the Penguins, because he's least likely to score from that high out. It's important that you pick up the late men.
4:34 to play in the period. 3-0 Pittsburgh. Lemieux encroaching on the face-off circle, waits to get it on his stick. Almost does. Quinn there on the boards against the Rangers' Eriksson. Here it comes to Paul Coffey, the ex-Edmonton Oiler. In behind Quinn went the pass. Hillier keeps it in play. Zalapski. Now across to Coffey. Zalapski and Coffey are playing catch. Richter makes the stop. More pressure. Here's Rob Brown in behind the goal. Gets a second chance on it. Lemieux with it now. Digging it out on the far side for Zalapski. As the power play continues, the Penguins buzz around. Right out in front. Scoring chance for Brown. He shoots. Blocked somehow by the defense player in front. Now Richter joins the pile, and they keep it out.
James Patrick's going to stop Rob Brown here in front of the net. But again, you can see now the Penguins up 3 games to love. Up 3-0 here. The Rangers just don't have that spunk. I mean, the Penguins are content to keep the puck as the puck bounces off the glass out front. And Rob Brown shoots it into Patrick as he tries to go over the blocking hand of Mike Richter. But this is a battle for the Rangers.
Well, there's a matter of making the puck bounce for you, and I suspect Pittsburgh has done a lot of that tonight. It just isn't happening all by itself. Hugh digs it back on the point again. Across to Paul Coffey it comes. Zalapski winding, fakes the shot. Lemieux from the angle. Richter stops that. Mario picks it up again, and he feeds his partner Cunnyworth in behind. Back for Coffey. Deflected. Richter skates out with the puck in his possession. .316 to go in the first period.
Paul Coffey looking for Lemieux. They hooked up last night for the first goal of the hockey game on a power play by Coffey, firing it diagonally across the ice, and Lemieux slapping it home. The Rangers seem to have collapsed their right side a little bit, hoping to take that cross ice pass away. In that particular instance, Deblois stuck his stick out and almost deflected it into his own net.
Philadelphia leading the Caps 1-0 in the second. Goal by Kerr, and Philadelphia now having to scramble a bit despite the advantage of home ice, down 2-1. Golfed around to the near boards. Hoppy let it slip by him. Zalapsky ahead to Cunnyworth, trying to beat Kevin Stevens, turning at the blue line. Breshner golfs that to the Pittsburgh zone. In the possession now of Kelly Kissio. Leaving it for Patrick. Good forechecking by the Penguins now. Inside 3 minutes, so first period time remaining. Nice shot, gloved by Barrasso and left for Coffey. Rangers changing on the goal. Penguins getting tired too. A couple try to change. Whistle down on the offside pass. They can make changes at will now.
A minute left in this power play. What Paul Coffey does, and a big, very big difference between the two clubs, is that ability, that first pass ability. Coffey is the best in the league at making that good, crisp, hard first pass out of your own end. Too many times the Rangers have not been able to do that, and that just breaks everything down from there. If you can't get that first pass executed, as this guy does, then you're behind the 8 ball already.
Well, they've had an enormous amount of ice time the last couple of minutes more, and they stay out there now. The odd whistle just helps them catch their breath, but Coffey, Lemieux, Rob Brown, Zalapsky, they hang on, along with Dan Quinn. Quinn with it now at center. He's got Coffey, the defenseman, who's more like a forward, standing beside him. Zalapsky's shot is deflected wide to the Ranger corner. Lemieux bumped off the puck. Coffey carries on, feeds Quinn. Here's Lemieux now winding back to Coffey. He lets a soft shot go, blocked by the Ranger defense. And it is shot off the ice. There'll be a penalty there as the Ranger player was taken down. Shaw in the face-off circle was dumped unceremoniously by Mario Lemieux, who skates to the box.
Gene Ubriaco. We're going to see David Shaw does a good job just trying to get the puck out of his end. And Lemieux leans on him. Rod Schick, the officials, standing right on top of the play. The Rangers will get an opportunity to get a goal here.
How refreshing to see a hockey player look at the official, realize the call, not say a word, admit his guilt, skate to the bench, and sit down. That's what Lemieux did. You got me cold red-handed,
Mr.
Right. Schick. 2:13 to go in the first period. Dominated by the Pittsburgh Penguins with their 3-0 series and game lead. Lemieux got it rolling on the power play. Bourque chipped in a couple more. All inside the first 11 minutes. Lemieux for tripping at 17:47 now as the Rangers still do not have the advantage because of the double 5-minute penalties incurred by Nyland some time ago. Here's a shot by Hardy, recovered to the blue line, kept in. Erickson or Sandstrom on top of it, and they whistle that one down right there as referee Schick will go and indicate a hooking penalty.
Mark Hardy is going to get a hooking penalty here again, and he's got to get his feet moving. He's got to try and catch that hockey player. There's an awful lot of ice for Dave Hannon yet to go with 2 defenders still there. We mention again the importance of not shooting yourself in the foot. And the Rangers have done it again by taking a penalty in the neutral zone when you have set up defensively with a lot of ice for Pittsburgh to go.
Yeah, very needlessly that penalty taken, and Esposito's frustration just mounts more and more. He is seeing the handwriting here on this Madison Square Garden wall tonight. It'll take a remarkable turnaround in the final 2 periods for this Ranger team to ignite and recover, I suspect. Looking at Erickson there, settling in with Quinn for the faceoff. And this getting it across to Patrick. Rangers just 3 men and the goalie out there as the Penguins have the power play opportunity, and they swing it in motion now. Good forechecking by Guy Lafleur as he steps on the ice, so that'll offset the Penguins' advantage. That's one of the penalties to Nyland that has expired. Lafleur was serving. Just a minute and 20 seconds to go here in this first period. Rangers forced into a defensive mode much of the night. Very few scoring forays to Penguin territory. Leach went down there. LaFleur trailing as the puck comes to Quinn, cleared back to the neutral zone. Got to get a quick break in there with LaFleur. They keep it onside, however, but can't get the puck to him as it is worked down the boards, and Zalapsky comes in to take it away from the New York Rangers' Kelly Kissio. Caulfield now rink wide for Paul Coffey again. An enormous amount of ice time in this period for Coffey. Hannon has the puck bounce in behind him. Hooking penalty for the New York Rangers to Hardy at 18:08. Has got them in a hole again. More directing traffic. Slides behind the net. Deneen there tying it up with 30 seconds to go, and they'll touch it and bring it down the ice for an icing call in the Rangers zone. Now you're watching one of the greats there, LaFleur, who Davis tailed off in the second half of the season, certainly, but he can still hurt you at any time.
Well, he can, and there won't be many 37-year-olds come back and play like he has, and the reason he can do it is his hand and feet skills, foot skills, ability to skate, his ability to shoot are just so good. He's allowed to do that. But as I mentioned before, and this is an example, that first pass, all kinds of time to make that pass, and they throw it down the ice, Michel Petit, for an icing.
Yeah, those are the mistakes that are killing them.
Exactly.
Poulin has scored along with Kerr, and Philadelphia leads Washington 2-0 now. Second period in the other Patrick Division semifinal series tonight. The Flyers try to tie that one at 2. The Rangers are trying to survive and avoid the golf course for the time being. Grester behind his own net now. Makes the play up the left side. Get it to Granato. But used rather sparingly in this game tonight. He gets tied up by Stevens there. Gets some help from Johnson. They bring it across the ice. Lemieux steps out of the penalty box. 10 seconds to go on the period. Totally dominated by the Pittsburgh Penguins. Shot down the ice by the Rangers again. Just shy of icing, and it's picked up by Pittsburgh. And that'll do it for period one as the Bluebirds come home to roost here at Madison Square Garden. Dismayed collection of Ranger fans here. I'm pretty sure of what they have just seen. So the period is over, 3-0 for the Penguins. Lee Zeidman will be around in just a moment.
Stand by for the biggest rock and roll value in America. 62 solid gold hits by the original stars, only $19.95. This is Rock and Roll Show.
Hey, little girl in the hiking sweater, I'm in with the in crowd. Corina, Corina. Hey now, it's swinging, pumping time.
Every one of the 62 songs on Rock and Roll Show are solid gold hits, all done by the original stars.
Listen to the rhythm of the falling rain. Won't you listen, you wanna see cruise? Beep, 5, oh, 16 candles. Just a dream, just a dream. Go into the chapel. Goodness gracious, great balls of fire. Well, do you wanna dance and hold my hand?
This is Rock and Roll Show, available on 5 LPs or 5 cassettes, also available on 8-track tape. 62 hits for only $19.95, and only through this exclusive TV offer.
Run away.
What a day for a daydream.
The best rock value in America today. 62 cuts, every one a solid gold hit by the original superstar who made them great. Rock and Roll Show, available on 5 LPs or 5 cassette tapes, also available on 8-track tape. Only $19.95. Stand by and we'll tell you how to order.
To order COD or credit card, call toll-free 1-800-248-4422. That's 1-800-248-4422. Or save COD and handling charges by sending $19.95 for 5 LPs, 5 cassettes, or 3 8-tracks to Rock and Roll Show, care of TV offer, P.O. Box 10020, Stamford, Connecticut.
Welcome back to Sports Nightly Studios, New York. I'm Lee Zeidman. We're tracking all playoff series here tonight. 3 of them could end this evening, so a big night here. Now, stung in sudden death last night, the Philadelphia Flyers are trying to tie their series with Washington, and they're doing a pretty good job of it at the moment. Let's check in on the Spectrum, where Philadelphia now leads 3-0. They opened the scoring here. Mark Howe dumps it in, takes a funny bounce in front. Pete Peters victimized. It's now 3-0. Poland and Gord Murphy have scored to make it 3-0. 3 quick goals in the second period after a scoreless first. Mario Lemieux and company reaching for the broom at Madison Square Garden. Espo's Rangers have their backs to the wall. Espo makes a rather bizarre move. Mike Richter, very shaky in goal, and why not? It's his first ever start. Already down 2-0. Penguins applying pressure. Phil Bourque bangs it home in front. His second goal of the game made it 3-0. Rangers starting to show their frustrations. Chris Nyland decks Mario Lemieux with a backhand for no apparent reason. Nyland on his way to the dressing room takes it out on the exit sign. What a night for New York fans. In the Adams division, Montreal can clinch its series with a win at Hartford. Whalers have only suffered one sweep in franchise history, came 10 seasons ago, at the hands of the Canadiens. At Hartford Civic Center, Dave Babbage of the Whalers charging down the right side, takes the initial shot, saved by Patrick Roy. But Ray Ferrar put in the rebound for a 1-0 Whalers lead. They led last night and lost in sudden death. In Buffalo, Sabres tried to tie their series with Boston. Right now in the second period, it's all tied up at 2-2. Defending Cup champion Edmonton asserted itself, shutting out Wayne Gretzky and the LA Kings last night. Oilers trying to grab a 3-1 lead in the series tonight, but the Kings have something to say about it themselves. They are playing very well. Steve Duchesne has just scored to tie the game at 1 late in the first period. The other Smythe Division series, the Flames shut out the Canucks last night. Canucks haven't scored, in fact, in 62 minutes and 42 seconds. They'll play that one at 10:05 at Pacific Coliseum. Only one team in the North Division had a winning record against Detroit. Chicago pulled off 4 wins and 2 ties in 8 meetings with the Red Wings. Detroit is in trouble in this series, trailing 2-1 and playing in Chicago tonight, where they have not won a game this season. 8:35, they'll get started. St. Louis and Minnesota also an 8:35 start. The Blues reach for the broom. They've got 3 straight wins over the North Stars in the playoffs this year and 1 from last year for a streak of 4. That covers all the action. Sports Channel's unprecedented first-round coverage of the playoffs continues after this.
This Stanley Cup score update is being brought to you by your Toyota dealer. Whatever car or truck you choose, you'll love the quality. Who could ask for anything more? MasterCard. You can count on MasterCard to help you master the moment. And Northwest Airlines, serving more of Asia than any other U.S. airline.
I just found out I have to replace my furnace. Who did yours? I had Sears take care of it. Including installation? Sure. They arrange installation of all their home improvement products. They did my air conditioning. You guarantee their work? Sears guarantees their work, and they finance it too. Call them for an estimate. It's free. Thanks for the hot tip.
Sears Home Improvements. Professionally installed, satisfaction guaranteed, or your money back. Sears Home Improvement Professional. The most trusted name around the house.
Hi, I'm Ed Michaels, America's #1 Sears salesperson. I've been with Sears for 17 years, and in that time, I've sold over 20,000 installed Kenmore heating and air conditioning systems. Sears offers the best professional service in this business. Today, we service the systems that we installed 17 years ago, and you can bet we'll be here to service your system tomorrow.
Teams at center ice for the face-off to begin the second period. Erickson for the Rangers. Cullen gets waved away as it has finally reached ice level. You talk about the Rangers running out of gas, so have their balloons.
Could that be a sign, perhaps, of what's happened to the sinking Ranger ship as the balloons make their way for the summer?
We'll see how much helium the Rangers have in this second period. Don Chevrier along with Dave Maloney, 3-0 Pittsburgh in the fourth, what could be final game of this series. Philadelphia battling back against Washington with a 2-0 first period lead. And Zalapsky gets it across to John Cullen. Hardy by Hardy as he runs off the defenseman Jim Johnson. Play in the Rangers zone. Patrick now works it ahead. Needless penalties in that first period hurt the Rangers too. I'm sure Phil Esposito reminded his boys of that. Left by Kissio for Leach, and that hard shot got deflected just wide. Here's Bork looking for his hat trick tonight as he takes it inside, drops the pass there. The shot is blocked, and play is whistled down in the Ranger zone with the Penguins leading New York 3-0.
Travel arranged through Northwest, serving 220 cities in North America, Asia, Europe, and the Pacific. Northwest, America's most experienced airline across the Pacific.
Mike Richter getting a rough debut.
Yeah, he did, and actually, too, Lemieux hit the post twice. He could be down 5 and 6 nothing, and again, you have to wonder what it does to a young guy making his first professional NHL start in a situation that, boy, was way beyond his control. But in the meantime, he's going to gain some sort of experience from tonight's hockey game.
And Lemieux also carried the puck too far in what was really a 2-on-none. Earlier, just giving the young man a chance to collect himself, I suppose. Right out in front, Lemieux circling there, had it hop over his stick. Rangers bring it up to center ice. It is shot by Dahlin now to the Pittsburgh zone.